45-31 win. There's a part of me there for just a split second that was thinking to myself, they might lose. There's that part of me that was thinking that, but gotta say, second half completely changed the dynamic. OSU looked pretty good there in that first quarter. Saw the composer from CJ Stroud. The offense was clicking. You had that big touchdown run by Mayan Williams and then the field goal, but then that 4th-and-1 run by Muhammad Ibrahim, that was the difference in putting Minnesota in the driver's seat, driving that momentum throughout the rest of the second quarter and going into halftime with the lead. And you had that thought of like, whoa, second half, maybe Minnesota pulls off this upset. But they did not. They did not pull off the upset because Ohio State just ran roughshod on the defense in the second half. So I welcome everybody again into the post-game show. Let's get those banners up. There's that final score, 45-31, Ohio State. 4th in the country. The Buckeyes start off with the win. That's something you like to see. And definitely something you love to see is CJ Stroud performing the way he did. First half, first game with the Buckeyes. First half, you kind of saw a little bit of the miscomposure. In moments, he was composed, yes, but essentially he started having some miscompletions. He threw the interception, but then they started calling some simpler passes for him. He was able to hit guys deep. Minnesota backfield was just not working out. And there it was. CJ Stroud throws 4 touchdowns and has 294 passing yards. And here's Troy. How you doing, Troy? Wasn't pretty for a while, but they came together at the end. The D is still suspect at times. The O seemed to gel after CJ calmed down. Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head right now, Troy. CJ calmed down in that second half. That was really important for Stroud to stay calm. I think the play calling from the Buckeyes helped as well. Ryan Day setting up the offense to have easier plays. You saw a lot of screen passes, so not too many, far throws in the beginning of the third quarter and in the beginning of the first half too. But then they were able to really open things up and throw the ball deep. And to me, the most impressive statistic for the Buckeyes tonight was the fact that they had four 50-plus yard touchdowns. Huge for the Ohio State offense. I felt like they were in the red zone maybe, 2 times the whole game? I mean, they only had possession for, let me check the stats here. They had possession for 21 minutes compared to 38 for Minnesota. Gophers held the ball for nearly twice as long as the Buckeyes, had the ball in the red zone on multiple occasions, but Ohio State didn't need to go in the red zone because of all these long touchdowns. 71-yard run for Williams. You had the 38-yard TD pass from Stroud to Olave, the first one. 56 yards to Garrett Wilson. The fumble recovery by Haskell Garrett, probably my favorite play of the day. And then you got that 61-yard touchdown for Olave in the fourth quarter. Before that, the Travion Henderson 70-yard run. Can't wait to see Henderson develop. I agree, Adam. I think Travion Henderson's going to be a special player. He's going to be a lot of fun. Big touchdown for him today. Wonder if they'll stop playing one safety up high. Yeah, we'll see, Duncan. And yeah, a lot of yak. One of my favorite football stats, the yards after the catch. Yak is big time. I don't know if I have the yak stat here because I'm just using ESPN statistics, but I think Ohio State averaged like 12 yards per play in the second half, something crazy like that. 4 of 8 on third down is really good third down efficiency. 13 yards per pass, 7.7 yards per run is pretty good. That's something that is solid for the Buckeyes. And by the way, guys, make sure to follow the rest of the Voice of College Football channels. The season is in full swing. Follow our boy Mark Rogers, of course, the main man of the Voice of College Football Network here on YouTube. He did the 24-hour plus live stream. I think he's still live streaming right now, so props to him for keeping the grind going. I'm sure he's going to do plenty of live streams and plenty of post-game shows. He will be doing that this weekend to continue Week 1 action, and there's a new Twitter account where we're giving updates on everything going on in college football. We live tweeted the OSU game tonight. Make sure to follow it. The Twitter handle is in the ticker right there, at Voice of College Football. Adam again here. Secondary was a bit better than I expected, but the linebackers disappointed me. Hope Proctor's okay. Yeah, I hope Proctor's okay. A great shame that Muhammad Ibrahim came out of the game with a boot. I think that was a really unfortunate injury to see, especially considering he was the best player on the field, probably for both teams, if you think about it, when he was playing. 30 carries for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. I thought he was remarkable today. Ohio State couldn't stop him. He gets injured in the third quarter, leaves with a boot. It's possible he might miss the rest of the season based on some of the tweets that I was seeing after the injury. But hopefully Proctor is good. I think the secondary didn't have too much of a challenge in this game. It's not like Minnesota was throwing the ball all that much. Tanner Morgan only attempted 25 passes. A lot of those were in sort of the garbage time as Minnesota was trying to get back into the game when Ohio State kept taking the lead in the second half. But I think the secondary will have a bigger challenge against Oregon. But I think today we didn't really see a true test for the secondary. At least that's the way I saw it. That route where Wilson faked the gut to the outside and went inside and got the TD was pretty impressive. Hey, you know what? Ohio State's receiving core is incredibly impressive, and that's where they're going to win games this season. I mean, you got two guys that are potentially draft picks in the NFL. Chris Olave has got that talent. 4 catches for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day with 30 yards averaging per catch. That's phenomenal. Very, very good from Chris Olave, which is what you expect from him. He's probably the best wide receiver in the country, or at least one of them. And then Garrett Wilson had 5 catches for 80 yards and a TD. And I think that's something that's really good about this first Buckeye game, besides the fact that C.J. Stroud really came out and performed well in the second half and, through those 4 touchdowns. The fact that a bunch of different guys were able to get into the offense and score. Williams with the long touchdown run, Olave with the 2 scores, Wilson getting a touchdown, Henderson with 1 catch and a 70-yard TD. It's really important to get everybody involved in the offense, and I think that's something that Ohio State's going to keep on doing throughout the rest of the season. And the fact that all these guys are able to get those touches for those long touchdowns, really, really crucial in the long run for Ohio State football. But overall, not a perfect performance. The defense definitely has some question marks, and I think the biggest thing is obviously the mistakes, because you look at the first couple of scores there for Minnesota, the mistakes were something that really popped out to me. The fact that, you had the interception there by Stroud in the first half, leading to the second Minnesota touchdown. 4th and 1, defense has got to be able to hold their own and not allow a 56-yard run. Again, you are playing against one of the best running backs in the conference in Ibrahim, but in the future, 4th and 1 plays like that, you can never allow a 56-yard run on 4th down. And then you saw the penalties, the pass interference call when Minnesota had the ball in the red zone, 3rd and goal, and then pass interference was called in the end zone on a touchdown attempt throw, and then Minnesota had a free set down. So got to get those mistakes. Minnesota, Wisconsin out of the West, maybe Iowa. I don't know. The West, still too early to tell, Adam. I think there's a lot of time left. I'm an Illinois alum, so I'm pulling for the Illini. Big win over Nebraska in week 0. Ugly win. CJ have to play better. Defense have to play better. I don't know if I'd say the win was completely ugly. I think in the first half it was a little more ugly, obviously because OSU was losing and they were making some mistakes there in the second quarter, but definitely offensively things clicked in the second half. The composure was there from Stroud, like we were saying, and they're able to get long touchdowns. Minnesota's defense was not very impressive. Let's be realistic here. The defensive coverage was awful, but I don't think it was a totally ugly one, but I think the defense does need to improve. Nice to see Zach Harrison. Huge play. Best play of the game by far. Strip sack. And the best thing is when you look at the replay, they showed the replay of the fumble. Zach Harrison, he freaking strips the ball from Morgan. The ball bounces off of the field perfectly, hits off the calf of a Minnesota O lineman, and then falls right into the hands of Haskell Garrett. Easy 32-yard run for the fumble. So nice to see a big guy touchdown. Troy Scott, have to admit, was worried at halftime. I was too, Troy. I was too, definitely. Not just for this game, but for the year with the needless penalties and giving up big plays. Seen that act before. Yeah, I mean, that's something a lot of football teams suffer with, and we've seen it with Ohio State time and time again on many occasions. But they definitely improved. The adjustments were made in the locker room. Halftime, I think Ryan Day got the guys to calm down a little bit. You saw a little bit of a frazzled team there in the second quarter, but the second half, the fact that they improved so much in the second half to me shows that the team has got the character, even though that you've got a lot of young guys in there. Having veterans like Olave and Wilson certainly helps for that too. So yeah, I mean, I think I think happy with the win. 45 points against a Big Ten opponent to start the season with a conference win on the road. Very, very important for Ohio State. So definitely something that can't be overlooked, how crucial it was that the Buckeyes were able to win on the road in a conference game to start the season. And we knew that this wasn't going to be a cakewalk, but the second half proved it was a little bit more. And obviously Minnesota, once Ibrahim got injured, the offense just wasn't the same. That's their guy. Muhammad Ibrahim is their offense. He was so good finding the holes. He was very explosive running into those gaps that the offensive line was making for him. I would love to see him be able to play the rest of the season for the Gophers. It'd be a real shame if he's out for the season. I hope he's not. But yeah, CJ will improve. I agree. Steadily growing right there. CJ will get better. I think so too. I thought for a first game, solid. You know, some stuff to work on for sure, but solid for sure.